Hi, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind The Successful Invisible. And I'm here today with a dating tip that I saw this creator say it on TikTok, and I said, it makes so much sense. And a lot of us do this, younger women, older women, and because of our engagement with social media. And I was working with a client the other day, and this same theme popped up. So I felt it was probably pretty prevalent in other people's lives. And that tip is, do not argue with men online. Do not go back and forth with men online. Honestly, you shouldn't be going back and forth with men in your real lives. One of the things that I have come to notice is any post, especially something that's polarizing, I would say about gender even more than race. And I usually have these attempts to go back and forth with other, with men, with black men. And being a black woman, it's about gender, not race. So, well, not totally. What the thing is, if you make a statement about a woman who is educated and doing well, or who she should date, or standards she should have, or whatever, there will almost be an instantaneous backlash from men about that statement. And what I've come to realize is a lot of men say the same thing like a broken record. And one of the things that's very disheartening about that is, one, they aren't listening and they don't even understand if their argument is relevant. But the second thing that I have come to observe, especially once I just took the emotion out of it and stopped doing that, is that a lot of men don't understand the definitions of the words they're using, and they don't realize that the words they're using don't fit, once again, what the situation is, or maybe their opinion doesn't make sense based upon their word choice. This links to, in my opinion, low literacy. Please watch my video about that and some of the troubles with dating. In this country we live in right now, I'm in the U.S., we even have a commander-in-chief who said during his campaign he loves the poorly educated. That wasn't a joke. He was very serious when he said that, just to cross over into the socio-political territory here. That was not a joke. Do not go back and forth with men. A lot of times they are trying to engage in discussions or debates based upon emotion and ego alone. They do not have the intellectual, emotional, or any type of maturity, the depth of understanding to engage in that discussion. A lot of it, in my opinion, has to do with low literacy and the way we have come very anti-intellectualism in this country. When we see the rising of a lot of movements that are about oppressing women and peeling back or rolling back advances that marginalized groups have made, etc. It is really this push of men as a collective, as a gender, really fighting education, learning, growth. And this is exactly why partnership is low and the birth rate is plummeting to hell. A lot of men just aren't likable people, and going back and forth with these men who don't have the capacity, the intelligence, or the maturity to have these discussions can be dangerous in person, because a lot of men instantly turn to violence when you say something they don't agree with, because they haven't developed past a very caveman-like, way of being. So do not go back and forth with men. It is a total waste of your time and energy, and it will just leave you, their energy harvesting as well. So just don't do it. And understand why you have such better ways to spend your energy and your time. So don't go back and forth with men in person, online, anything. Just say, okay, block them, move on, whatever. Just don't engage in that discussion. It's not worth your safety, but it's just not worth your sanity and your peace.
One thing I tell women in general, and especially younger women, is to not allow men to bait you into a debate or fruitless conversation. A lot of them are doing this because they want to challenge your way of thinking because it doesn't allow them to get what they want. There was a guy that I used to know growing up, and I remember I shared something on Facebook a long time ago because at the time there was a popular conversation about whether or not a woman needs to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make her man a sandwich. You can imagine who started that. The red pillars. Now I shared it and was like, I would never do that. The guy I grew up with was so upset that he called me on the phone and said, I can't believe you wouldn't make a sandwich for your man at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, no, I would not. Matter of fact, the man I married would never wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make him a sandwich, especially if he's able-bodied and has his own hands. And he's like, no, if he paying bills and he taking care of you, the least you could do is get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make him a sandwich. And I just looked at him with disgust because why are you calling me with this? I also told him the man that I marry is not even going to be eating sandwiches like that at 3 o'clock in the morning because we're going to care about gut health. And then also I'm prophetic and I have prophetic dreams. One thing I don't play about is my sleep. It's how God communicates with me. It's how he shows me things. If I'm having a prophetic dream and you wake me up out my sleep to make you a sandwich in the middle of a download, I will leave you. And I'm not kidding. I will literally leave you. You will come home and all my stuff will be gone. That's how serious it is. If it doesn't have anything to do with the kids, if it's not an emergency, do not wake me up. Also, women need way more sleep than men. So a man just feeling the need to wake you up just because he wants something is him not valuing your rest. He thought it was okay to interrupt a woman's sleep because he wanted something, simply because he wanted something. A lot of these men are so entitled and all they have is the audacity. And they bait women into conversations like this to challenge their way of thinking and influence them to be more like them or to yield to their way of thinking and their way of life to make them feel better about themselves. Like, we're not the problem, you're the problem because you don't want to conform to our ideas. And a lot of those red pill men talk like that, think like that, behave like that, even the ones that don't understand that they've been influenced by that. And anytime a man tries to lure you into these type of conversations or lure you into these type of topics, just know that man is not worth your time. He's not worth your time because your future husband wouldn't even want to have conversations with you like that. And those conversations bear no fruit and it lacks basic respect. And they're doing it with the intent to challenge your way of thinking because they're not getting what they want out of you, or you're not easily manipulated, or you're too firm in where you stand. And there's nothing wrong with that. And a man who does not value your rest does not care if you are happy or healthy.
I just want to say this real quick. Any man that comes in my comment section and leaves disgusting comments or something negative or something hateful, just know I'm not going to be sitting up here arguing and debating with you. I'm just going to leave you right where you at. So if you come over here with that type of energy, you're not getting a reaction out of me. And ladies, don't argue with these types of people. I spoke about exchanging energy correctly. So when we put our energy into people like that, they're just draining. So, dear men, if you come over here with that, you're just not getting a response. So don't even try it.